Hey ladies, welcome to my freemium class. So today I'm going to be showing you how I made this beautiful wig. Now these are the tools you need to make this wig. I'm sure you can see them, so I'm trying to focus on them. Yeah, so you need a white pencil. You'll see what I'll use it for as we go. I'm using a 14 inches straight bundle, 3 bundles precisely. A closure. You can either use a Kimke closure or a half closure depending on what you do. It will still give you the same result. Now thread, of course, the sharpener for your pencil when it breaks, the scissors, duck clips, butterfly clips, wig caps. Now this is a dome wig cap, spandex dome wig cap precisely. Now I'll show you the difference because they are both dome caps. Now you see this is like a literal cap and it is not see-through, whereas the other one is a dome cap, mesh wig cap. It's breathable. Most people will prefer this because it doesn't generate heat. It's breathable as it implies. Yeah, so your needles, and I have threaded mine already. You can thread as many as possible as you want. It makes your work faster. And then T-pins, you will see as we go what I use these T-pins for. They are very important when you want to make wigs. They really help. Your comb, brush of course, and the styrofoam head. Now this head is what most people use, but no, we won't be using this because it's a smaller size. Now I'll be using a canvas head. You'd see what it looks like. This canvas head comes in 3 sizes: 21, 22 and 23. 23 is the biggest. So you know how to fit your cap to the head. The back has like an ogo, so to say, so you'd be able to figure that's the back. Now if you'd see, I've used the T-pins to place the cap. It helps in keeping it firm. Now the closure, please note that I'm not putting the closure directly on the cap. You'd see I left like an inch or 2 in front. And then how you know the middle of the closure, divide it in half and then you know the middle. This is actually easy because there's a pattern there, but whereby you do not have a pattern in your closure, you can do that. It helps you know where the middle is, and then everything is flush and equal. So the middle line on the canvas head helps you determine the middle as well. So now you are going to place the middle of the closure on the middle of that line, or on the line rather. I'm sure you get what I mean, so just watch. So I'm pinning my closure down with the T-pin. So here you see what I'm doing with the T-pin. So yeah, now you pin the sides, you drag the sides with tension. Now when dragging, you do not drag too much so you do not tear your closure, and then pin it. Yeah, and repeat it on the other side. Do the same and pin it. This makes the closure firm and tight. Do not overstretch it, please. Do not overstretch your closure so you do not tear it. Remember, it's net. Now this makes your sewing neat and firm, so make sure your closure is flat on all sides. This is just one technique to help you pin your closure flat. Now when you do it and you notice that there's still space on the side, you can always adjust it, but mine is as flat as I want it to be. Now you'd see what the pins and or rather the clips, the dog clips, I use them to put the hair aside so I don't get to sew hair. Now I'm sewing closure, of course. Now when sewing, you notice I'm doing a knot. Now this knot is like your usual normal sewing and all. Now when sewing at the band, I actually decided not to sew through the elastic band. I am sewing through the mesh on top of the elastic band. Now this is so that other people can wear it, or someone else with a smaller head can wear it, but I just did it for you to see. On a normal day, since I'm using a canvas head, which is the normal size of a human's head, I am good to go. If I sew through the elastic band or I do not sew through the elastic band, it doesn't mean anything. It's just your preference, okay? You still get to achieve the same result. So you see there, I'm sewing through the normal knot. Now when sewing, please ensure that you stretch the closure so that there's no puffing at any sides. Everything is flat. That is what we are trying to achieve, a seamless sewing or a seamless wig, okay? But don't be too aggressive. Do it firmly. In all, remember to always check that your closure is flat against your wig cap, okay? And putting the hair away helps a lot. So just watch and you see how I'm doing it. So take your time. You would make mistakes if this is your first time, but the more you do, the more you get better at it. Just make sure that the closure is secure and won't move eventually. So while sewing, I'm doing a knot. Put it through the thread rather. Sorry, put the thread through and then make a knot. You can either tie 2 or 3 times depending on what you want, but just make your preference, or rather your result should be a seamless closure, okay? Now this is the same method of sewing that I would use to the end of the video, so I will be skipping so many parts, but the important parts I'll be showing them to you, of course, so you follow through. Make sure to watch the video to the end. Now you notice and see the importance of a T-pin. You definitely need to have a T-pin because they help in holding either the weft or the closure or even the wig cap to the canvas head. It makes your work neat, okay? So just watch and follow through. So here I'm making sure that the thread is, tight as it is, or as it should be. So yeah, we're done with the closure. So you see how neat it is. Okay, this is what you should achieve, or this is what you want to achieve. Now you see what the pencil is for. So just watch closely. Now please note that these lines are just a guideline. I'm drawing these lines. Usually this is a beginner video, so this step would help you get a seamless finish. So now the spacing, what would help you get a spacing is an inch. So you use your thumb, place it above the line you've drawn earlier, and then mark it down. You're just trying to make sure that they are not too close, and when doing this, also keep in mind the bundles you're using. If you are using 4 bundles, 3 bundles, you would know how large or how small the spaces in between should be. But nevertheless, you do not want it to be too close, and the wefts will be dragging each other. Okay. So you'd see while we sew, you'd understand what I meant or what I mean. So we are following through with the line. This is a guideline, remember, it's a guideline. Now you can either use a Sharpie, yeah, or you can use a white pencil, just something to draw a line that is visible to you. Okay, and will guide your sewing. So I'm gonna stop talking and you watch. Okay. So I doubled the wefts, yeah, and if you look closely, you'll see I used the T-pin to hold the weft. Now this is the importance of T-pin. As mentioned earlier, it helps so you do not start struggling with your wefts and all that. You're sewing and you're not distracted with holding your wefts. The weft is already there waiting for you to sew it. So T-pins are really important. They make your work neat and stress-free, I must say. So invest in them. T-pins. So I've gone halfway, and you see how neat and seamless your sewing should look. This is how neat and seamless your sewing should look. So I have the last bundle. Yeah, remember a T-pin. I held the weft at the tip with the T-pin, you'd see, and then you continue to sew. So I'm gonna show you how I sew. Now you'd see that the thread is underneath, and you see the knot I am making. Watch closely, please. You see how I am drawing the thread. Put the needle through the thread and then draw. Ensure that it is tight and firm. Okay, gives you a seamless finish. When sewing, you also have to follow the line, as it is a guideline, so that's why it's there. You see, I'm doing it slowly so you can see. A T-pin at work again. What makes it easy for you to sew or get this way is when you sew, make sure the excess thread is at the other side, like not facing you. If you're sewing and your needle is facing you, then the excess thread should also face you. But if the thread, or the needle rather, is facing the other side or is opposite, then the excess thread should also be opposite. So it helps you just make a loop or a knot and go through. It makes it easy and fast. Now you might not be this fast when you do it the first time, but trust me, over time you get it so fast. In less than 30 minutes you are done. Practice makes perfect. Remember, practice makes perfect. You can always go back to this video, pause, look through, and be sure of anything that you didn't see clearly. Now you'd see at the end I am sewing through the weft. All through I've been sewing underneath the weft, but when I go to the end, or when I get to the end of the weft or of the cap, I sew through the weft. Okay, you notice that when you are sewing through, it's usually hard, so that's when you know that you are doing the right thing. But if you go through easily, then probably you didn't go through the weft. So remember, at the end you'd want to go through the weft. Now this is also another thing to remember. You do not have to do a turnover or anything. You can decide to cut yours at the end. It's your decision. Okay, there's no hard or fast rule to say whether you have to cut or turn over, but I'm just showing you either ways because I did the two in this video. Okay, at the beginning I cut through, but I decided to show you how you can do it. Now when your thread is getting really short, what helps is doing a 2 or 3 knots. Okay, it helps a lot, makes it easy to cut through at the end. So yeah, I'm doing another knot before I cut the thread. And please, if you're doing it for the first time, be really careful with your hands so the needle doesn't pierce you, or you don't get injured. Now I'm tying it to secure it so we do not have any wefts falling off when we are combing or anything. Okay, I'm sure most of us know how to make a knot, or tie a thread. So yeah, just so just watch. You see, I'm showing you what it should look like. So yeah, when sewing, it's also good you put the hairs away so you do not have any distractions and you have a seamless sewing. Now I am repeating that because that is what we are trying to achieve. We want to sew like a pro. We do not want to sew and then have our customers complaining, or have whoever we are sewing for complain about our sewing. Okay, so I'm showing you what it should look like. That's the knot it should look like. Now it's a repetitive thing. You just keep going the same way until you get to the end. Okay, nothing special is done at the middle or at the end or at the beginning either. You just repeat the same step. So now, what I mentioned earlier about sewing through the weft, you'd see I'm actually having difficulty sewing through the weft. That's because it is tight. Okay, now if you do not sew through, if it's not tight for you when sewing through the weft, then girl, you made a mistake. Okay, so yeah, you have to use so much power to draw it out. Okay, so I'm doing, like I mentioned earlier, at the end 2 or 3 knots. This secures your ends so that you do not have any ends falling off, or you don't have your client calling you in 2 days or 3 days that my thread or my weaves are falling off. Okay, so make sure you secure the ends. Really important. 2 or 3 knots and then you are good to go. You can repeat that method 2 times and yeah, it's firm. Okay, so you see, this is how your weft should be sewn in. I'll show you how I made a knot for my thread. So now the last weft, sewing through the weft and then 2 or 3 knots. Okay, repetitive, very repetitive. That's the thing about sewing. You do not get to the middle and change your style. No, the same way you started, you continue that same way. Okay, so just watch closely and yeah, easy breezy. Practice makes perfect. You might not get it the first time. You can go back to this video, watch again. You might get it the second time, you might not get it the second time, but practice makes perfect. Now you might watch this and then you do not practice what you've done, or what you've learnt rather. Then sorry, you've lost the knowledge. Yeah, so make sure to practice when after you're done watching this video. And I wouldn't mind you sending me videos or pictures of what you did, or if you need corrections on anything, I am very much available. Okay, so it's also important that when you get close to the closure or the frontal, whichever one you're using, do not sew on the closure, but ensure that you are sewing very close to the closure or the frontal. Now this is important for future reasons or for future purposes, whichever way you choose it. Now most people would eventually want to change their frontals, because of course frontals and closures are not everlasting. Some of them shed and some of them tear because they are net. Some get burnt from heat. So whatever happens to a person's closure or frontal, the person should be, able to remove her closure or her frontal and then be able to replace it without affecting the bundles. This makes work really easy for you. You do not have to start losing all through the wig cap before you then make another wig for the person, just because the person wants to change only the closure. So ensure that you sew really close to the closure, but do not sew the closure. Okay, sew the cap, please. Do not sew the closure. Very important point. Do not forget. So as mentioned earlier, at every point, or rather whenever you get to the end of any weft, remember to sew through the weft. Now you see that was how I made the joining here when the other weft finished. I added and I sewed it through each other, and you would barely notice that I joined two different wefts. It seemed like it's a continuation. So sewing through the weft and joining it through the other weft makes it seamless and lush. Neat work is what we're trying to achieve here, guys. So yeah, you can go back, pause, watch again, so you know how I achieved that. Okay, so yeah, our wig is almost ready. Now cut off the excess weft. It's actually better you cut less than you cut more. So if there's still excess, you can always go back and cut. But if you cut it, too much, then that's a problem. You'd have to sew the weft back. So it's better you have excess, so you go back and cut it. Okay, so yeah, it's not really hard knot to crack. Like I said earlier, practice makes perfect. You can always send me a message when you've done yours and you feel like you need corrections, or of course questions will be welcome tomorrow. So please do watch this video closely, pay attention before you ask your questions, okay? But questions are welcomed, of course. So yeah, Now we're cutting off the excess and the thread, and we're done. You make a knot to secure it, of course. Remember, make a knot to secure it. Now this is just one method we use in sewing wigs. You can use a sewing machine, which is way faster. I can't remember the last time I sewed with my hands. This is the first time in a long while. So the sewing machine is really fast. You can sew a wig in less than 20 minutes. Trust me when I say that. If you'd want to learn how to sew a wig with sewing machine, send me a message. Now we are cutting off the excess cap. Now please, when cutting, ensure that you do not cut too close to the closure so that you do not losing the thread for the closure, or you used in sewing the closure rather. Now your wig is ready, guys. So yeah, here you go, how to make a wig with your hands precisely. So this closure is a 3-part closure. You can style it in whatever way you want, center parting, sideways, your desire. Thanks for watching, guys. Remember, you can always ask me questions. The group will be open for question sessions tomorrow. Please ensure that you watch to the end precisely, and thank you for joining my freemium class again.